Yankee here. If you remember not too long ago when CZ first acquired Colt, I was actually kind of happy. A lot of people were upset that Colt had sold out to a foreign company, but I thought this was going to be the beginning of good things because Colt had recently developed a reputation of straying off course a bit, and CZ has a good reputation of bringing companies back to the straight and narrow when they take over. So I thought this was going to lead to great things, mainly because at the time, CZ had their own line, which is very successful, their semi-automatic line, their CZ75s, their Shadows, their own polymer line. They also had a very successful 1911 line, which was Dan Wesson. They owned Dan Wesson, and that was filling out the 1911 side of their business very well, very successful line. However, their revolver line, which was also from Dan Wesson, was faltering. And in fact, at the time, they were discontinuing all the Dan Wesson revolvers. And they were purchasing Colt. And that made me think that Colt was going to become the revolver for their business. It was going to fill out their revolver line. So they were going to focus on the revolvers and not so much the 1911s or the ARs or anything. It was really going to allow the Colt wheel guns to start to shine. And that seems to have been true so far. We've gotten multiple versions of the Python, really nice versions of the Python. We've also gotten the Anaconda since then. And now there's 3 new nameplates being resurrected. 4 new guns, 3 new nameplates. Not new ones, old ones that have been brought back. And the first of which is the Viper, adding to their snake guns. Now the Viper is a very simple gun. It's a kind of a Model 10 version of the Colt. It's kind of like the Model 10 from Smith & Wesson. It's got the gutter rear sight, simple front sight. There's no rib on the barrel. It's got a half underlug. It's got, the gutter rear sights, like I said. It's just a really nice, simple carry gun. Nothing really fancy about it. Now, this gun's going to come in 2 sizes, a 3-inch and a 4 1/4 inch. Now, this would be great for someone who just wants a little carry gun from Colt because this is like $500 cheaper MSRP-wise than a Python. It's kind of in between a King Cobra and a Python. That's kind of where it falls. And you'll be able to get it, like I said, in the 2 different barrel lengths. This is a really nice addition to the line. I would love to have the 3-inch eventually, but I actually would like to have the other 2 they announced first. And the second gun they announced is a 357 Magnum gun as well. The Viper is also a 357 Magnum, I didn't mention that. But the next one is the Grizzly. Now, this is much like the Python. You might ask, well, what is different between this gun and the Python? Well, the difference between the Grizzly and the Python, well, first off is the name and the engraving. You get that cute little grizzly paw there on the barrel, and I'm hoping they'll do some on the cylinder eventually. And speaking of the cylinder, that's different. It has an unfluted cylinder. That's one thing the Grizzly has. The different engraving and the unfluted cylinder. And most importantly, the main feature is that it has a ported barrel. So you get it ported from the factory. This is an awesome little gun. I've always wanted a Grizzly. I've always wanted a Grizzly and a Kodiak, but they're so expensive if you buy them on the secondary market. Now you can get brand new ones that are every bit as good, if they're anything like the Python, as the older ones. Now that is going to hurt the secondary market on those older guns, but people who invested heavily in Colt are kind of wishing they hadn't now with all the new revolvers coming out. But, I'm not here for the investors. I'm here for the consumer because I'm a consumer, not an investor. So I want to be able to buy these guns, and I'm really glad to see this one coming out. The Grizzlies one I've always wanted, and I'm so happy to see this one coming out. This one's got the 4 1/4 inch barrel. Like I said, it's ported. It's got that unfluted cylinder. It's really nice. Got the different engraving on the barrel. Now, normally these came with a pair of wooden grips with a different medallion in them. It looks like they're marketing with rubber grips, but hopefully there'll be some other like G10, like the new G10 grips from Altamont. For the Pythons, I just ordered a couple sets of those because those looked really nice. Hopefully there will be some of those for these as well. And that's one I definitely want. I definitely want the Grizzly. I want that one before I want the Viper. But the one I want the most is the 44 mag coming out. Now I have an Anaconda already. That's why I haven't bought the new Anaconda, because I have an old one, a 4-inch old one. But this one coming out, the Kodiak, is kind of like the Anaconda, much like how the Grizzlies like the Python, except same things. Unfluted cylinder, different engravings on the barrel, and it's ported from the factory. So these are real outdoorsy guns, meant to reduce the recoil when you're having to fight to save your life from, a Kodiak or something like that. Although, don't shoot bears. Bears aren't going to hurt you generally. I've been around bears most of my life, never been harmed by one. Ain't been killed yet, if you can't tell. Now, some of you will probably call me a liar right here, because everybody calls me a liar every time I say anything. But no, a bear has not killed me before. So don't shoot bears. No type of bears, not the hairy ones that hang out in bars in San Francisco, and not the ones in the woods, because neither of them are really a threat to you if you just ignore them. So, like I said, the Kodiak is the one I want the most. This is the 44 Magnum with the unfluted cylinder, like I already said, and the porting and everything else. Just love these guns. I like the bear theme, and I like the little paw engraved on the barrel. Call me shallow, but that's the number one reason I've always wanted one, is because of that engraving. And I want to have the footprints engraved around the unfluted cylinder. Hopefully they'll do that from the factory eventually, or maybe I can find somebody that can do it for me, because that would be awesome. I'm hoping Altamont will start carving these, doing engravings on these, because they could do some bear stuff on them. These would be awesome if Altamont starts with those, because they do some really nice engraved Colts and other guns now. So would love to see that come around and be something we can purchase. But for right now, I just wanted to let everyone know that, like I said, seems like it's going like I said it would. CZ seems to be using Colt to fill out their revolver line. And we're getting more and more models from Colt that are being resurrected. And the three newest ones are the Viper, the Grizzly, and the Kodiak. And I can't wait to see all of them. I definitely want to get some of them in order. My ones I want is, number one I want is the Kodiak, then the Grizzly, and then if I ever get around to it, maybe the 3-inch Viper. Not really as necessary on that one, but the Kodiak and the Grizzly are must-haves for me. I don't know about you. I hope you like these as well, because like I said, it's nice to see these Colt guns coming back. It's nice to see me being right for once, and CZ actually using Colt for what I think they're best at, and that is wheel guns.